what's your non-resolution for 2021?
My non-resolution, no one's ever asked me that. I didn't expect you to start off asking me that question. So definitely, like none of the to answer that question, I would say like weight loss, waking up early, trying to be a better person, just the yada the resolutions that I never like live up to. And then I'm just going to exercise patience, and I'm going to be more tolerant, and I'm not going to snap at all the wrong people because I'm stuck in traffic. But hey, like 2020, that was the only thing. We were never stuck in traffic. So, that seems like a distant memory. So yeah, I mean, yeah, most definitely like the usual. Like I mean, you and I kind of know each other for so many years. And I feel like if you're from Delhi, not just Delhi, like I feel all of us, like, with girlfriends, 10 kgs starting 1st of Jan. Come on, 24th December to 31st. Let's just knock ourselves out. And then on 1st of Jan, we just don't wake up.
True.
So, yeah.
No sugar, no this, no that. It doesn't happen. But as you said, patience. I think for mommies, that's very important. And how, as a mom, you juggle so much. I mean, there's a show, she does films, she does podcasts, and now she's turned producer.
No, I feel like all of us do. I don't think that, any of us are in that situation. Like, I'm just shocked, Pooja, to see how many women are like, they're just doing so many things. Like, even if they're not, I feel like, being a mother is a full-time job. And
Okay.
there's a reason why they call it a full-time job, because it's just never ending. Like, you can get time off from a shoot, or you can get time off from if you're doing what you do, or anybody else, but you just don't get time off. So you're always on. But I love it. Like, when you're talking about patience, that's the one thing that my daughter's taught me. She's just taught me how to be so much more patient, and I'm so curious through her. Like, I remember once during lockdown, we were like, let's just take her for a drive, and she was so curious with just like raindrops on the windscreen and the wipers. And then I feel like she kind of zoned in so much that she would just be like, rain, wipers, and her association with it, I mean, unfortunately at that time, was just looking at the car and sitting inside it. And I was so amazed. Like, I could have either like gone from like saying, no, Meher, you don't have to always see wipers and car, and what are you looking at this, to just like understanding how everything. And then she suddenly saw the rear view mirror, and then she couldn't believe that she's seeing her own reflection. And onwards from there, like, everything is just amazing. It's just, there's a reason why they say that it's a motherhood is such an amazing feeling also. Like, you feel the love, and you feel, I can go on and on about it because I'm loving this phase of my life. And the
Awesome.
juggling sometimes gets hard, but you just need to know where what and who you need to prioritize, and that's the most important thing.
I totally agree. And now
Your
you have
life, actually, everything starts. Yeah. And for me, I feel like numbering starts from 2, because the number 1 position is taken. Like, if somebody asks me, so what do you prioritize between work and your daughter and all, I mean, the number 1 spot is gone for life. So everything else goes 2 onwards for me.
Totally agree. And now you have Step Out coming, Big Girl Productions. So I'm sure you shot this in the lockdown. So how did this idea come about? It says a lot. The movie, I don't want to divulge the details. It says a lot.
Have you seen it?
I saw it. It says a lot. It says a lot.
Oh, okay. Great. So, I'm just glad. I'm not, I wouldn't dare ask if you liked it or you didn't like it. But the fact that you said that it says a lot, that's where we're coming from. We're touching, even if you're, like you said, thank you very much for being respectful enough by saying that you don't want to say too much. But I'll just touch the topic. It does talk about mental health. It does talk a little bit, not a little bit, it's what leads to mental health, and the circumstances that sometimes people are, whatever the circumstances may be. Sometimes it's professional, sometimes it's personal, sometimes it's friends and family that you can't deal with, or pressures. So it's one of the consequences that we talk about in the film. And it came about because, you know, my director Hriday, we'd worked earlier on something, you know, on some advertising stuff, and then he called me saying, "Hey Neha, what are you up to?" And I'm just like, you know, it's July and 2020. I'm up to absolutely nothing. So he was like, you know, there's a shot, and I'd like to make it with you in it. And I heard it, and I think it took me, he was not even halfway through the narration, and I was like, you know, I want to support this not just as an actor but also as a producer, because, you know, as Big Girl Productions, we want to be associating ourselves with things that are entertaining and informative. And, you know, I haven't taken the big leap yet, but this is a baby step towards it, and I'm hoping that as a narrative and as a story, it's effective enough, and it can, you know, when people can then come out and talk more about, you know, mental health, or be brave enough to at least reach out.
True. And there was one line in the film that really spoke to me is, choices we make in the toughest of times define us. Did,
Yes.
did you resonate with that? Was there ever a moment in life where you maybe had to make that choice?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, there have been times when you have to make choices, and sometimes it's not the toughest of times, but the time
Yeah.
becomes tough because you can't really make that choice. You know, sometimes, and that's what a crossroad is in life, right? And some people, it's making the choice that's hard, and for some people, it's the time that they expected to make that choice is hard. But you know, I mean, for me personally, not I've not had a situation where I've had to make tough choices. I've kind of I've lived the life where, you know, you've got to walk the mile, and, you know, like, sweat it out to know how tough it is. So I've done that, like, from having good and bad experiences in my life, and sometimes I could be responsible for it, but we've all lived, right? That's what living
True.
life is all about.
True.
But professionally, yeah, I mean, sometimes I have made some choices, and you go back and you're like, I had the option, and why didn't I take this up? And at that time, you feel like, you know, what you're doing is absolutely right, or sometimes you get clouded. So um yes and no, but you don't regret it. Like, you know, Angad and me always have, like, we live by this rule where we say it's God's plan. So yeah.
True.
But to answer your question, Pooja, maybe like taking it away from what you asked me, I have been in situations where I've, you know, times have been tough, and we've had to make choices, and they pay off eventually. If nothing else, you
True.
just sleep better.
True. And how did the name Big Girl come about? I really love the name Big Girl Productions.
You know, it wasn't hard for me, because a lot of people think that, you know, maybe it's got something to do with size or what the world stands for now, but none of that. Actually, when I was really young, my dad would always be like, "What's my big girl doing?" You know, like, and I would always be like, my dad, and I said, "Why would you call me that?" And he'd be like, you know, because even when I was 2 years old, he'd be like, "Are you a little baby or are you a big girl?" And I would always be like, "I'm a big girl." So that's where it came about. It didn't come out from anywhere. It's just my dad. Now he even addresses my daughter the same way, and like, "Where are you, a baby or are you a big girl?" And she's just like, "I'm a big girl." So I'm just like, if I have to hand over something, it's probably the right. I mean, it's not like I was a mom, or I had a daughter that time when the production company was launched. We kind of launched it 5 years ago with No Filter Neha, and it was an interesting name. We had different options. The other option, actually, I've never said this in an interview, was what was it? Yeah, like, you know, because I was born with this silver streak, and I've had this since birth. So it's a birthmark. So the other option was to call it Silver Streak Productions, and I was just like, oh, it's too hard to explain. Like, you know, I'm not going to be like, and then, you know, we had a logo with a girl on a motorbike and a silver streak on the side. And I was just like, it sounds too much. And this was just closer to my heart.
It's awesome. And also about Step Out, what I liked, another thing that struck me was, sometimes the one who is healing is the one who needs healing the most. You know?
Yes.
So, I mean, you've picked up on a lot of things. It's just not therapy. It's also what's happening to women. I mean, I'm not letting out the narrative, but it's abuse. It could be any kind of abuse. It could be physical abuse. It could be mental abuse. So you've touched upon that. So tell me a bit about it. Like, this, an issue that needs addressing. You've spoken about it openly also, and you've supported women also. Yeah.
In fact, I just feel like if you're talking about abuse, I feel like abuse in any form is something that you cannot forgive, no matter what the circumstances are. You can't just turn around and say, "Usne aisa kiya, to maine aise karke apna haath utha liya." No, you cannot do that. It's just, um, I I do know that I don't know the exact numbers and the statistics, but I do know that it's a scary number when it comes to people in our country, especially women facing abuse. What's even more worrying is just because, like you said, like we were talking about choices and times and circumstances, that they just keep quiet. Like, for a moment, let's just put this interview aside, forget everything else, and just imagine that there are women as we speak who are going through abuse, and they know they will have to go through this for the rest of their lives, and they don't have an out. And sometimes, even when they have an out, like I know people, and I know women, and I know friends of mine. And there was a friend of mine who I reached out to and I helped her out, saying that, listen, it's okay to come out and talk. No, he just pushed me. Like, he just pushed me is where it starts from, right? It's like that movie,
Exactly.
like, it's like thappad.
Thappad.
So it was just like, sirf ek thappad hi to tha. It's not that. Why did it happen? What is a guarantee it won't happen again? And it's very, very it's heartbreaking, Pooja. It's heartbreaking. It's just, there's no way to explain it. Like, I'm there's there are people who I know, and there are women who I know who aren't fortunate enough, who have the ability, or who live under fear that, what if we go out and talk about it? After all, he's the father of our child, or after all, this is the home we've married into. And I'm talking about, like, women who support us, like, because of whom, I always say this, that behind every working mother, there are many working moms, so whether it's somebody who's helping me with looking after my home, or helping me with looking after my child, and looking after, the food I eat. So there are 3 or 4 people, and one of them turned around and told me that this is what, she's facing. And it was just heartbreaking till we actually addressed the issue, which means this is one person who's reached out to me. Imagine how many more there are like this. Imagine, I mean, you could educate me and give me the exact number. I mean,
It's amazing.
I
The stats are frightening. And also what happens on social media, that mental abuse is also tough. We are not taking into consideration the way we are slammed on Twitter, women every
yes,
day, every day.
I mean, why why do people do this? Like, that's my biggest thing. Like, even if you're talking about slamming women, or if you're talking about trolls, it's, and it's not just based on gender.
No, I mean, it's relevant what you've said. So good luck with Step Out. Hope to see more such narratives. And somebody's asked me a question to ask you. It's where everybody's living out in pajamas. Your work from home fashion was just on point. How would you define your fashion game? How is it always on point?
Oh my, is that right? I don't know. For me, like, I have these 2 very sweet girls called Gurleen and Sukhi from Gumani Stylist, who kind of help me out. And it's just like, rush the courier as soon as you get a call to do something. But right now I'm in Goa. So I was just like, the best thing to do is just, like, wear a malmal shirt and put on a choker. That's the best thing about work from home, right? You got to, like, dress up from here to here. That's it.
Absolutely. No one knows what you're wearing, Niche. But yeah, have you ever had a fashion faux pas? Ever? Because you've always been on point. Have you ever had a fashion faux pas?
Yeah, once when I was recording No Filter Neha, and I was wearing this, I still remember I was wearing this yellow dress, and I was recording with Sonu Sood, and I didn't realize with the dress, the I thought it was like a long dress, but the slits were really like thigh high. When I was just like, okay, now I need to get up, and I was like, oh no, I can't get up. I promise you, Pooja, I was just cramped the whole time. Like, I was just sitting like this, and to sit like this, and you may hear the recording for 25 minutes, but between, like, saying hi, hello, and getting onto Zoom and setting the frame, and 2 hours, 20 minutes, I was just sitting because I couldn't lift my leg up to, like, change my side. And I was just like, never doing this without trousers.
Wow. Another person's asked me to ask you, what is the one thing, since you are the insider, that film stars lie about most,
Um,
or
where
get
they
worried
are,
about the
where
most?
they are, the exact.
Yeah.
No, they lie about the exact location where they are, and they also lie about when they're coming back to Bombay. So, sometimes you don't want to go somewhere, or sometimes you want to avoid someone. So you're like, hey, I wish I had known you wanted me to come back on the 30th, but I'm only landing on the 2nd. So that's a lie because they're already in town 28th onwards.
And what is the one thing that they fake about?
I think initially relationship status, but I don't blame them because they just want to be certain. Because the minute somebody comes out in the open about their relationship, it's not like how it was in college where you're like always interested in this guy or in this girl, and then you're like, okay, it's not happened, and it's like everybody loves to talk about their relationship the day it starts, and you're like, now I'm dating this one. So it used to happen in school and college, but now because you're like famous and people know and they love to talk, so they just lie about relationship status to just like build their foundation and be secure. So I want to just give them that, like, in their favor. But I like the way I'm saying in their favor, like I mean, but
You kept your
I'm
relationship
doing
also under
Bollywood,
wraps.
so yeah.
And we only got to know you and Angad when the pictures
Are you
came out.
kidding me? Dude, I was not even rap. I was like rap till I was wrap around.
Totally. We only got to know on, I think it was 9th
the
May or
work
something, 8th or 9th May. Suddenly,
on 10th.
10th May,
10th.
the pictures, beautiful pictures.
I think I got to know about my relationship status on Angad's Instagram. I was like, okay, finally he's accepted. Yay! Now I can tell people.
Wow. But I mean, your and Angad's relation, it's really sweet. I mean, you guys come across more as friends. And and like Meher's Papa Mama, more than like husband and wife.
Yeah.
So who is like
in
the relationship? Who's the quirkier one? Who is the serious one? Who is the difficult one?
The quirkier one is most definitely me till Punjabi music comes on, and then I don't even know. Angad listens to the song for the first time and he knows the lyrics. Yesterday, the most bizarre thing happened. We're all driving in the car, and he puts on some new song, some Brown Monday or something, and he's like, Brown Monday, something like that. Some song is going on, and then suddenly Meher is looking at him, and then because she's in the back, so she can see him diagonally, so she sees him, and I'm like trying to look through the mirrors to what she's doing, and 2 minutes later she's also like, and I'm like, no, cannot be happening. And she's like, so yeah, he's fun, he's lots of fun, but did you say difficult?
Yeah, difficult sometimes. I know you mentioned about his food.
100% Angad. I could be more annoying, but Angad is definitely more difficult. Like you can just like tag him on this clip, tag Angad on this clip. He's more difficult. And what is the third one you said?
The quirky happened, difficult happened, and easygoing. I mean, if he's difficult, then you're the easygoing one then.
No, he's also easygoing. Let's give that also to him. इतना भी बैंड नहीं बजा सकती ना. अभी 3 साल ही तो है शादी के.
Awesome.
Cut to when he's promoting a film, then he'll be like, "Pura band बजा देगा वो मेरा." So
वो नहीं करता actually. He's just been all praise. When I spoke to him last of Gunjan Saxena, it was all about his wife comes from the forces. He's seen how strong he's all praise, huh? All praise. So give the
that's also better, na? For Gunjan Saxena, it's a much better plug that he has a 4G wife. I just have to.
No, let's give the
He's
Munda.
Kill me.
No, let's give him another 10 points.
Yeah.
Actually, tell me something. When all these stars complain about airport looks and gym looks, the day there is no PAPS, do they get worried कि आज क्यों नहीं आए? I'm very curious.
Just repeat the clothes, na? Because then they'll repeat the clothes कि अच्छा वो pink वाला top और pink वाला pant अगर नहीं photograph हुआ, तो फिर they'll keep repeating it till it gets photographed. Then they'll change it. I mean, not repeat it without washing, but I'm saying they'll repeat it in the sense that if the look doesn't get covered.
Such pressure.
So
Which
like
is
I
that
was
one?
very stressed. There was this one time that I was coming out of the airport and I got photographed. And I was like, ये मेरा कुर्ता तो बिल्कुल नया था and it got photographed. अब मैं फिर से पहन पाऊंगी कि नहीं? But I had to repeat everything. So I'm cool. Like it's just, I have these jeans that I'm wearing. I've worn on roadies for 4 years, and now I'm sitting and wearing them for your interview also. It's okay. When
Sustainable
in doubt, wear
fashion.
a white shirt and blue jeans. I'm
Totally
telling
agree.
you, it's the best. Yeah.
Totally. And
Just
lastly,
change your
before
choker.
totally agree, on point. Lastly, before we go, one thing you want this industry should just change. One thing that you want to see for somebody. It's nearly been 2 decades, right?
Yeah. The industry should change.
Anything that you want, the
I
change that
think
you've been wanting to
slotting.
see. Yeah.
I think slotting. Like when I joined, there wasn't any ecosystem to like casting and how do we get people in and who gets this part and how is it that the other the primary, secondary cast members are all put together. It's fantastic because now there is a system and there's place for newcomers and then all of that. A few more agencies would be great. Also there should be I just the slotting would be nice. Like I feel like somebody could change that around a little bit. So if there's a particular kind of like actor or actress who gets cast in just like cop roles, so then you continuously see them like that.
True.
I feel like just out of the box casting has most definitely started for all, like there's like great actors, like there was Jamtara and Patalok, and I'm missing out on tons of shows. So between Casting Bay and Mukesh Chabra and Nandini, and there are tons of great casting directors who are missing out on. I just feel like for the leads, if there could be a once actors are established, a rotation in the kind of box they put themselves in or casting directors put themselves in. So creative input I'm giving.
True.
But time wise, everything starts on time now. If you're working with professional agencies, there's very little to complain about. Digital media, you guys, everything, it's kind of there's a system in place. We're getting there. Between contracts and getting to work, a lot has changed, Pooja. Like you have no idea the unsystematic world, or just verbal confirmations is what we used to work on earlier, and suddenly you would
Yes.
hear
Yes.
that someone else has gone and done the project, and there was no Twitter or Instagram, and you would only get to know later because your hair person would be like, ये डेटों पे आपने मेरे को बुक किया, मैंने तो पिक्चर शूट कर ली पर आपके साथ नहीं, किसी और एक्ट्रेस के साथ.
My
You were
lord.
like bizarre things to now, like, yeah, to have like a serious kind of system in place, and all of that. So it's really become a far more kind of orderly business.
And one movie of yours that you could erase from memory if you had anything. Or anything.
Listen, I've said it many times, and that director messages me every time after he sees an interview of mine. But he's like, I'm really sorry, sir, but the promise you made to me was very different. There's a film I did called Gandhi to Hitler, where I played Eva Braun. And
Whoa.
I want to erase that. If you cut a promo on this, Pooja, I'm going to kill you.
No, I won't. Anyways, jate, an advice Neha would want to give her 20-year-old self today. Anything. What would you want to, if you were to meet 20-year-old Neha, what would you tell her?
I love this question, and I have a different answer every time. Just more adventures, many more adventures. I've had tons though, no regrets about that, but I just feel like it's every adventure that makes for a great story, and then you live your life on that. Just more time with friends. I was working when I was 18 is when I started working.
16 yeah
more times. Yeah, 16 is when I started working, like in different, like those fairs and all that, when you have that the
Pragati Maidan, I remember.
The Pragati Maidan वगैरह में होते थे, yeah. But 18 is when I started modeling and stuff. But I just feel like by 20, I was prepping for Miss India, where I just like more time with friends, more adventures, because that's all. Friendships is all that you can hold on to.
Awesome.
More
I was,
pictures. I didn't click enough pictures in my life,
तब
and there was no
Instagram नहीं था,
digital, and there
selfies
was
नहीं थे.
nothing. I feel so bad. No selfies. I don't know where those are. I mean, if there's anybody who knows me who's watching this, please email me pictures of all of us.
Cool. Anyway, thank you so much. More power to you. Hoping to see many more stories like Step Out, yeah?
Absolutely. And thank you for taking our time watching Step Out. And
it's lovely.
yeah, please spread the word. It's an important subject. Thank
It's
you.
a totally important.